Welcome, sweet friends, to the channel Frugal Money Saver. My name is Emmy, my husband is Paul, and we are so happy you are here today. Well, this is the last video we're going to be putting out before we start our no spend, low spend January 2023. How exciting is this? What we did was we packed this video full. What we hope are encouraging and helpful tips, advice, hints, etc. to get you excited, to get you motivated, to lower your cost. Going into 2023, I think we are more conscious of the amount of money we're spending, how much things are costing us, and I think it's time we started to get serious about pushing back a little bit and saving some of our money for ourselves and not just handing it out on things that may not be so important to us. So first thing I want to do is just go over a little bit with you how Paul and I are handling our no spend January. And I know some of you are doing low spend, which is awesome. Some of you are just going to be not spending a week or spending certain days of the week, whatever it is. We're all in this together. Just wanted to let you know how we're going about it. We're going to allot ourselves about $50 a week for food. There's just the two of us, and our pantry, our freezer, our refrigerator, everything is very, very well stocked. Now, I'm hoping we won't even spend that $50 a week, but it's there. And that also includes health and beauty aids. If we need shampoo, conditioner, soap, things like that, which I don't even think we're going to because I have a nice stockpile of that as well. But that's how we're going to go about it. And any essential purchases would be medical, food, our everyday bills that are due. Things like that are essential. Non-essential are all those little frivolous side buys that we have. So that's how we're approaching this. So you're going to keep us accountable and hopefully we can encourage each other. I really want to encourage you as you go into this low spend, no spend, to be aware of your emotions when the desire to spend hits. A better way to explain it would be when the urge hits you to spend. Okay, I'm going through the drive-thru, or I'm getting on Amazon and I'm doing spending that I really didn't want to do. Stop and feel your emotions. Are you bored? What is the emotion you're feeling at that point as you're looking to spend on your no spend month? And try to deal with those emotions in a different way. Maybe start a gratitude journal. Maybe instead of going through the drive-thru, say to yourself, okay, well, I'm super hungry right now. That's why I'm going through the drive-thru. But when I get home, I know I can make a grilled cheese and I have tomato soup. Or I know I can put together a quick omelet or make breakfast for dinner. Be aware of when you're going to spend and the emotions you're feeling. That's super important. Those could just be little signs that, okay, I need to relax maybe, or I need to step back a minute and just have a cup of tea and a breather. Be aware of that as you're going into this no spend, low spend month. Another way we are going to be saving big in 2023 is repurposing items. We talked about this in our last video, and we're going to go on encouraging you with this. So today, before you pack up your holiday greeting cards, I want to show you what we are doing with some of ours throughout the entire year. We're going to turn the camera around and show you another little repurposing hack. One of the best hacks for reusing greeting cards is something that I'm going to share with you right now. So many people take greeting cards and they'll punch a hole in them and make beautiful gift tags out of them for the following year. I'm going to show you how you can do year-round package embellishments with these beautiful cards. So every time a greeting card comes into your house or you see a pack of greeting cards at 90% off, and they are absolutely beautiful, remember this hack. This beauty I pulled off of an older birthday card. This I pulled off of an old birthday card. These two are Christmas cards that were absolutely stunning. You know, we can always repurpose Mickey. And this is a congratulations that I pulled off of a card we got. Always look at the front of a card and say, what can I do with it? All right, now I'm going to just use this little box as an example. We're going to wrap it just as we would any present, only we're going to be using tissue paper. I'm going to pick this card to repurpose. It's beautiful. And again, it has that 3D effect. So I am going to pull this wreath right off the front. It's got the stickies already on the back. So here we have our pretend gift, whatever your box is or how big it is. And then I'm just going to take this and I am going to put it right in the center. It just took an ordinary piece of tissue paper and elevated it to just something of beauty. Look at it. It's got two little crystals on it. And tell the people, hey, take that off the package and repurpose it to give to someone else. But you could do this with anything. Look at how lovely. You could just switch them out, whatever you want. So this is a great hack. Look at those cards that come into your home with a new eye. How can I repurpose them? And this is one really beautiful, economical way to do it. You don't even have to use tissue paper to wrap the gift. You can just use plain brown paper. Use a inside-out paper bag if you have it. White paper, gold paper, whatever is cheapest. But those front of the card embellishments will make any gift look super special. Another great way to repurpose an item that you would toss into the garbage. Another way we're going to be lowering our costs this year and our monthly budget is by cooking from scratch. We're going to watch those prepared foods and we are going to try to cook as much from scratch as we can. And especially through the month of January when there is no eating out at all, if you're doing a no-spend month, we need to be organized, have our kitchen organized, know what we have in our freezer, our pantries, and our refrigerators. And one thing that Paul and I really needed to do is go through our utensil drawers and declutter and organize. And I encourage you to do this as well. Nothing makes cooking easier and more fun when everything is organized and neat and you know where everything is. So because this is a pretty transparent channel, please don't gasp when we show you our drawers. So let's turn our camera around and do some organizing. Because this channel is a judgment-free zone, I am being open and honest. Well, we both are, Paul and I, and showing you our utensil drawer there and our utensil drawer here. So the first thing we're going to do to get ready for our no spend January is go through and organize and get rid of some of the utensils we don't need. So we are ready to cook for the month of January when we can't even go through a drive-through. All right, I'm gonna get to work. Being organized in 2023 will definitely help you save money. You know what you have, you're not buying things you don't need, and you're utilizing what you already have in the home. And what I am doing also, starting to look through my freezer and see items that really need to be used up. And one of the items I had in there were some roasted beef bones when we had a prime rib several months ago. So if you have prime rib bones left over from the holidays, I hope they're in your freezer or you made stock out of them because they are wonderful. So I'm going to turn the camera around, show you what we did with these beef bones that had been in our freezer for a couple of months now. Let's get into the kitchen. Part of our Low and no spend January is using up food that may be getting a little dated in our freezers. I have had these frozen beef bones from a prime rib. So they have been frozen, so they're fine. I mean, they may not be top quality taste wise, but they will make an amazing broth. So what I want to do, I am craving beef barley soup. We're using up some carrots that have seen a little bit better days. These definitely need to be used up as well. And then I have some pretty floppy celery. So we're going to take this, some spices and water, and we are going to turn it into a mouth-watering beef barley soup that is super frugal, hearty, and delicious. So the first thing we're going to do is chop up the celery and the carrots and just get everything into the crock pot. So in the crock pot, we have our beef bones. I cut up about 1/4 of an onion, the celery, the carrots. I'm going to add a clove of garlic for some good flavor, some freshly ground black pepper, and these bones are roasted. These are not raw. So that's looking pretty good. What I'm going to do now is just fill it about halfway up with water. I filled the crock pot up halfway with water. I am going to cover this now, put it on high, and I am going to let it cook for several hours at least. We're home all day. I just want the richness from those beef bones to just flavor this broth. This cooked for about 6 hours on high. Look at this. The meat is falling off the bone. I am going to let this cool for a while, and then I will take that meat off completely, and then we'll get it right in the fridge. Here's our beef stock the next morning. You can see all the beef fat solidified. I will be removing some of that. That looks like a lot of fat for us. Now, what I'm going to do is measure out how much stock I actually ended up with. And I have got a bag of barley. So now we're going to make some beef barley soup. I'm going to do this on the stove top. I have about 1 tablespoon of olive oil in this pot, and I am just sauteing about 1/4 of an onion. After the onions had cooked for a little while, I did add 1 clove of garlic again. Never can have too much onion and garlic in your soup. So this is 6 cups of our homemade beef stock, and I'm going to add 2 carrots, and I'm also adding 1 stalk of celery. I'm adding 1 cup of diced tomatoes, a good splash of Worcestershire sauce. Oh, wait a minute. It is Worcestershire sauce. Never knew the pronunciation was on the label. And then I'm adding 2/3 cup of the pearl barley. And you can salt and pepper this to taste. It's a very simple soup, but I think it's going to be amazing. In this bowl, I still have the meat. I am not adding that right now. I don't want that meat to dissolve. About 15 minutes before the soup is done, I will add the meat to the soup at that point. I just don't want it to disintegrate any more than it did. We're going to cover the pot, bring it to a boil, and then lower it to a simmer. And we're going to simmer it for about an hour to make sure that barley is cooked and the vegetables are tender. This cooked for an hour. Wow, does that look good? About 15 minutes ago, I added the meat in. Look at how thick this is. The barley just plumped, and this is going to be amazing. Let's dish it up and see how it is. This is just a simple rustic meal that literally cost cents to make. Look at this, how thick and hearty. I am just pairing it with some saltine crackers, and Paul's going to give it a taste.
Okay, I'm not particularly a soup guy, so this is going to be interesting to try. Beef barley, I don't remember ever having this, but maybe as I grew up as a kid. Maybe I've tried this before. Here goes. Wow, this is good. This soup has such a delicious flavor. Dixie says she wants a bowl for herself.
What do you want,
What are you doing,
Dixalina? What do you want? Look at that tail.
I guess I'm a soup guy now because this is absolutely delicious. I can definitely eat this tonight and throw in some of these crackers, and this is great on a cold night like tonight. This is going to be delicious.
That beef barley soup was superb. The richness of that broth just took that humble rustic bowl of food and elevated it. It was so yummy. Okay, Em, but I don't have bones to make homemade stock. You can use ready-made stock to make this soup. It is such an economical soup. Use a little bit of ground beef instead of the beef off the bones, and you will be so pleasantly surprised. Soup is a great way to stretch your dollar, and the more you add to it and bulk it up, it transforms into even more of a stew than a soup. So that is a great way to use up bits and pieces all month long, and of course all year long, as we're bringing down our costs for 2023. Another thing that we encourage you all to do for the new year is not only save money, spend down, clean up debts, have a no-spend month, months, whatever works for you, is to pick a special word to strive for 2023. I have shared my words in the past. One has been joy, one has been contentment. For 2023, I have picked the word fearless. And I am so excited about this word. A lot of times it's hard for me to always move out of my comfort zone with things. I want to cultivate a fearless attitude. I think so many times the fear of the unknown keeps us from coming out of the area we are comfortable with. So I am going to stretch my comfort zones just a little this year and claim the word fearless. So we encourage you to pick a word for the year that kind of sums up what you would like to accomplish this year, or something that you would like to cultivate within yourself for the coming year. And that's always such a fun challenge as we go into 2023. Today's question of the day is, what are you all doing for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day? Please share with us if you're cooking, what you're serving, are you playing games, are you all going out to family? What are you all doing for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day? And if it's low cost and frugal, share it with us and encourage us as we hope we encourage you. What are we doing? Our son is coming over on New Year's Eve, and what are we going to do? We're going to watch the Twilight Zone Marathon because it is streaming free on Decades channel, which is an over-the-air TV channel we get for free. It's called Decades, and they're going to have the Twilight Zone Marathon, so we're going to do that, and we're going to make some finger foods and just relax. So share with us what you're going to be doing. We thank you for spending this time with us. Paul and I wish you a happy, healthy, blessed 2023. We will be here throughout the month of January and of course onward, but for the month of January to support you on your low spend and no spend journey. Remember that. We ask you to be safe. We ask you to be well. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, may God bless you.